What if the greatest problem of our time is not disbelief in God, but certainty without thinking? Many people today speak with confidence. They say God is just an idea. They say belief is outdated. They say science has replaced faith. But the real issue is not doubt. The real issue is certainty without reflection. Because the more science discovers, the more questions it creates. Imagine walking into an empty room. No people. No explanation. On the table, there is a laptop. It is open. It is running. Everything works perfectly. You would never say it appeared by accident. You would ask a simple question. Who turned it on? Now look at the universe. It follows laws. Not chaos. Not randomness. Mathematical laws. Precise laws. Predictable laws. The universe behaved as if it was designed. For a long time, scientists believed the universe had no beginning. An eternal universe meant no creator. Then science discovered something unexpected. The Big Bang. Suddenly, science admitted that time had a beginning. Space had a beginning. Matter had a beginning. Everything began. Now the question becomes unavoidable. If everything began, what caused the beginning? Nothing cannot create something. And something cannot create itself. So the cause must exist beyond time. Beyond space. Beyond matter. Here, science reaches a boundary. Then another problem appears. Fine-tuning. If gravity were slightly stronger, the universe would collapse. If gravity were slightly weaker, stars would never form. No stars. No planets. No life. Physicists admit the probability of this happening by chance is almost zero. This is not belief. This is mathematics. Science did not disprove God. Science discovered its own limits. So science looked deeper. Not into space, but into life itself. Inside every living cell is DNA. DNA is not just chemistry. It is information. It is instructions. It is code. Here is a simple question. Have you ever seen information without intelligence? Code always points to a coder. For decades, scientists tried to create life. They used chemicals, electricity, controlled environments. Their goal was simple: create life from non-life. Every experiment failed. Again. And again. And again. Louis Pasteur proved a principle. Life comes only from life. Even today, no laboratory on Earth has created life from nothing. Science explains processes. It does not explain origins. Chemicals do not write software. Explosions do not create libraries. Randomness does not produce meaning. Some people say, I believe only what I can see. But there is a problem. You cannot see your thoughts. Yet you know they exist. You cannot see love. You cannot see justice. You cannot see purpose. Yet these things shape your life. Neuroscience can measure brain activity, electrical signals, neural impulses. But it cannot measure meaning. It cannot measure purpose. It cannot measure moral responsibility. Even scientists admit this. The brain does not fully explain the mind. No equation explains love. No formula explains justice. No chemical explains purpose. Not everything real is measurable. Islam explains this clearly. Humans are not only physical. They are also spiritual. The Quran says, People have hearts, but sometimes refuse to understand. The problem is not lack of evidence. The problem is pride. The Quran asked a question. Centuries ago. Were they created by nothing? Or are they the creators? That question still remains. If intelligence is behind the universe, what does that mean for your life? If life did not come from nothing, where did it come from? And if there is a creator, is ignoring him truly logical? Pause. Think.